60s with west winds turning to the north around 10 to 15 miles per hour. This evening, light rain will change to freezing fog, drizzle, and snow mix overnight, mainly along and east of Highway 25 as lows fall into the mid-20s. Precipitation will be light, only a few points or less than 1/10 of an inch, but sidewalks and roads could get slick. Tomorrow morning, some clouds and lingering freezing drizzle and snow flurries are possible to the east and clearing in the afternoon, with highs in the upper 40s and lows in the upper 20s. Thursday will turn warm and windy as highs reach into the mid to upper 60s with sunshine and northwesterly winds at 20 to 30, gusting to 40 miles per hour. Overnight lows will be mild in the lower 30s. Friday through Monday, unseasonably warm and dry. This meteorologist Chris Schromick, the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
At Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic, they believe in promoting healthier living through compassionate quality care. From state-of-the-art maternity care to life-saving emergency services, their dedicated team is there for you and your family. Whether it's managing diabetes, navigating recovery, or receiving specialized treatments, they're committed to your well-being. Discover the difference a community-focused hospital can make. Visit rayhospital.org today to learn more. Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic. Your health, our priority.
At Viera Wireless, building good signal requires no shortcuts, real work, and exacting standards you can trust. Get signal you can count on with an iPhone 17 on us. Or for the family, get 4 unlimited lines, each with an iPhone 17 on us for just $100 per month. Get the most out of our network with iPhone 17 and coverage that's reliable where it matters most. That's Viera Wireless.
Taxes, fees, eligible trade-in, and select plans required.
Kick off the new year in professional grade style with Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Right now, drive home a GMC Arcadia with 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers, or choose a 26 GMC Sierra 1500 and get up to $7,000 in rebates with an eligible trade-in, or 0% APR for well-qualified buyers. Big capability, bold style, and New Year savings you don't want to miss. Start the year strong at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Shop online at hurlchev.com.
When you gotta go, but there's nowhere to go, who you gonna call? Topside Portables and Pumping, that's who. Weddings, job sites, farm parties, they've got clean, reliable porta potties that don't stink, literally. And if your septic tank smells worse than last year's chili cook-off, they'll pump it out fast. No mess, no fuss. Family owned, Heartland values, always ready. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. When duty calls, they answer.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show, broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone, he's in! Touchdown, Cowboys!
To the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit! Here comes McMahon, he'll score! Ball game!
The Blitz is presented by Hurl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pest Away LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work. Tar Heels scoreless for over 2 minutes, but they still lead the game by 7. Navarre to the left. Kelly rises up for 3 and cans it. 8 points for Renaya Kelly. There's a lob to Flory and a two-hand rim rocker. Tiller on the feed. Bidunga on that throwdown.
Evans the base arc. Left alone for 3 on the way and through for the big man.
Council collects at the top to try to get the ball to Peterson. He catches the corner, throws up a wild 3, and somehow hit it. 2 Red Raiders in his face, off balance, falling backwards, and the prayer is answered. This game is tied. So Peterson
Peterson, miraculous three, has tied it. Now can DP deliver the lead? He launches and hits. He did it again. Back-to-back threes, and KU goes up 3 with 45 seconds to play.
And that's why you pay him the big bucks. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. It is the Morning Blitz here on this February the 3rd. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit short here this morning. It's been a little bit of a stressful Tuesday, but we're here and we are rolling on the Morning Blitz. I decided to join us, no matter if it's on, of course, Rocket 1025, KLOE, and WKSradio.net, the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream. If you're going to be tuning in later through the podcast, appreciate you doing so here on this February the 3rd. A nice, cool 25 degrees to begin the day, but temperature is going to rise. Don't worry. Into temps around the mid-50s, maybe even some low 60s in some spots. Could see some chance in some listening areas. I'm not saying exactly maybe where you're at, but there could be some spots where tonight you could see a chance of some possible rain, maybe some freezing rain and snow after midnight. Any type of precipitation would be great. If you want to keep the freezing stuff away, that'd be fine with me because I don't need to fall on my you-know-what again like I did, a couple months ago. So anyway, ready to go here on a Tuesday morning show. Connor, how's the morning been for you? Good? Great?
It's been good. Slow, usual, just getting ready for the show and thinking back about that Kansas game last night.
Yeah, that was a good one. A really good game last night as the Kansas men get the victory at Texas Tech. Very impressive 64-61, come from behind win in pretty much the last couple of minutes. Kansas found themselves down by 10 in the second half. And we're able to come back and get the victory there over the Red Raiders of Texas Tech, who I don't think were playing quite at full strength themselves. They had one of their top scorers, I think, on the sideline dealing with some injury stuff. But nonetheless, it was a great win for Kansas. And I don't know what were your thoughts on just the game overall. I've got some more on that, but what were your biggest takeaways from last night's win? 3-point win and come from behind fashion for the Jacks. So, by the way, I've now won 6 in a row, and I think it was back-to-back wins over top 25 opponents for like the first time since like 2020. Maybe it's top 15 teams since 2020. Some ridiculous stat like that.
That would make more sense. But Texas Tech was missing one of the best point guards in the nation in Christian Anderson. That guy, he's a dude, and he did not play last night. So that contributed a lot, but they have another All-American candidate on the team in JT Toppin, and Kansas, I mean, they defended him about as well as he could. He only shot 5 for 18 and scored 10 points. And when you shut him down and there's no Christian Anderson, it's a little easier to beat Texas Tech. But they have a third guy. I think it's LeJean Watts, who had 19 points and 12 boards. He had a pretty nice game, but it really didn't matter because Darren Peterson down the stretch made those 2 ridiculous threes in the final, 30 seconds to essentially steal that game. And
within the final minute 15.
Minute 15 more so. I'm thinking the last 30 seconds is when they gave the ball up and almost lost the game because Texas Tech got a steal. And I was thinking, oh no, they're going to go down and tie it, aren't they? But Kansas D'd up and got the stop at the end. And how about Darren Peterson playing a full game too? 35 minutes. I'm sure that's nice to see, even though he didn't have maybe the most perfect game. He came up in the clutch and he played 35 minutes. I think that's what matters.
Well, that was the surprising thing. I was watching the first half and I was kind of like, well, Darren's out there. That's good to see. I'll wait to see what happens in the second. If he's going to come out and play for a second half of basketball, he seems to only play about a half. And then he comes out there and, he proved he proved in the very end why I think he's probably the number 1 pick in this upcoming NBA draft over AJ DiPatenza there for BYU. But yeah, it was, I saw some interesting articles from The Athletic last night. One of them was, is this Bill Self's best coaching job? That was one of the articles. Another article was, what do we make of this Kansas team? I don't know, because they could be a Final Four team, but they could be a team that loses in the first or second rounds of the NCAA tournament. Because of that's just 2 separate. And they were all based upon the fact that Kansas plays with 2 separate teams, one with Darren Peterson and one without Darren Peterson, as we have talked on this show many a times about. But to watch him play a complete game, even though the second half was not great for him. In the second half, I think he only had 2 points for most of the second half until those 2 threes.
Yep.
So he was very much kept in check. But you saw why he is considered maybe the best draft prospect this year is because he's got this unbelievable clutchness to him. And his ability to finish at all 3 levels, at the rim, mid-range, and then you saw the threes. I mean, you see why he is an elite pro prospect.
Yeah, he gets it done from all facets of the game, and he is a true 3-level scorer, like you're saying. And I think it's almost a consensus at this point that he's going to be the number 1 pick, regardless of the injury woes and scariness of that. I don't think anyone cares because AJ DeBensa's great, Cam Boozer's great, Caleb Wilson's great, but Darren Peterson he possesses an ability to score that a lot of people are saying, I mean, we've talked about it, it's Kobe-like, and you're not going to see a player like that come around very often. And I don't know. I mean, Darren Peterson's just a generational player, and you know what? It's cool he's at Kansas, but I still can't believe Ohio State was his second choice. I'll tell you that much.
Really? I did not know that. Really? That was his second choice?
It was at least in the top 3 because he's from Ohio, so he was heavily considering it, but
yeah,
I don't blame him.
Ohio, home of the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yes, Canton.
But so anyway, I clipped a little audio from Bill Self post game talking about Darren Peterson and his here's, by the way, on the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video, we saw the fadeaway 3 in the corner that tied the game at 61, and then they get a stop, and then he comes down, and he makes another shot here. But my point being, Bill Self, some audio from him last night talking about the 2 late shots from Darren Peterson.
That first 3 that DP made, wow. He wasn't himself tonight, obviously, and he didn't score the ball and held on to it too long. Did a lot of things that wasn't great, but gosh dang, with the game on the line, those last 2 plays he made, Greg, that's stuff that you talk about years to come. I mean, that first 3 he made over Topping, and then the second one off the ball screen, and it wasn't like he had been aggressive at all the whole game. And then when the game's on the line, he takes over and
I mean, listen to Bill Self's tone of voice in that. I mean, Bill Self, who has seen so much through the course of his career, is floored what he just witnessed in the final minute and a half of that game. He can't believe it.
It's incredible. Didn't he say that Darren Peterson is the most talented player he's ever coached or something like that?
I don't know if was it him. I know that Brian Haney, who we had on last week, said he's the most talented player he's ever seen come through Kansas.
Right.
Now that I don't know, maybe Bill Self did say that too. I don't
remember hearing that.
But that is just, here's the thing. Is he unbelievably talented? Yes. I think to me, it is his maturity that stands out, I guess, to me. And once again, I've never met the guy, so I don't know about it personally, but just from what I can see, you talk about a guy that doesn't get too high and doesn't get too low. I mean, he is about as even-keeled as you could be. I mean, think about it. He makes those shots. He just goes right back down the floor. No celebratory 3-ball, whatever.
He goes about his business. That's
he just goes right back down the floor. I mean, he's a pro is what he looks like out there. He's not out there celebrating. He is just so even keel about everything. The thing I noticed about Darren Peterson, not that this matters at all, but you ever notice that he doesn't have any real, he doesn't really have any tattoos or anything like that? He doesn't have any tattoos on his arms or anything like that. I mean, that's kind of a rarity to see in today's basketball realm. I mean, he has tattoos, you see it on his chest, but it's it's kind of one of those deals like you could just see like his mom and dad were like, you're not getting that. You're not while you're under our house. And something like that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that's how it happens.
Once again, I don't know. It has nothing to do with basketball, but it's amazing to me. He makes these shots and these impressive shots, and he doesn't just get all super jacked up or super. He's just like, yeah, I've been here before and done that.
He does. He's very, very. I mean, I guess professional might be the way to say it. I mean, guys still celebrate and end up being great professionals, but I mean, he definitely he looks like he's been there before, and this is like maybe if you average out all his minutes, this is maybe full game number 10 for him in total of all of his minutes. So it's crazy that he's this, I guess, even keeled, like you said.
Yeah, it's impressive to say the very least. So anyway, Kansas gets the win last night over Texas Tech behind two amazing shots from Darren Peterson, 64-61. So amazing that Bill Self was floored post game, which says a lot to me. After Peterson, you had 4 guys in double figures, 14 from Flory, 16 from Melvin Council Jr., and 10 from Trey White to get it done. Bryson Tiller had a really rough game, just 3 points on 1 of 6, but he did have 10 rebounds, so made up for it there. But they get the win, and they've rattled off, as I mentioned earlier, 6 consecutive wins, back-to-back top 25 wins, and I think back-to-back top 15 wins for the first time since 2020 that they get that done. But 7-2 in the Big 12. They just continue to climb up the Big 12 race standings. They now sit in a tie for third with Iowa State. And actually, they should hold the tiebreaker because they beat Iowa State already in their first meeting. So they're probably sitting in third at this point in time. But Arizona, Houston, and then Kansas. Once again, it's been a very impressive turnaround since the first 3 games of the Big 12 slate where they go 1-2, and could have gone 0-3.
Easily.
To just go down. And they've got an easy win coming up here on Saturday at home against Utah.
Oh,
and then
bloodbath.
Say hello to a week from yesterday, one of the bigger Big Monday games. They are at home at the Fog against Zona.
Game of the year.
So
I don't know about
big
that.
time game. Well, there's the thing. They have Arizona both twice, home and away, coming up. They still got to go to Ames, Iowa, and they've got to host Houston. Those are humongous games that they still have left on their docket. But tell you, they're playing with some extreme confidence, particularly when Darren Peterson is in the lineup, because they feel like they can win at any point in time. So, anyway, all right, there you go. Let's continue here on the Morning Blitz. If you want to get your thoughts and comments in throughout the show, please do so at 785-899-2222. Michael chimes in and says, I'm trying to think, what was the it's a picture of Grant McCashlin, the head coach for Texas Tech, apparently stunned, something like that. He says DP is lethal. Let's see. What else here? Is this Kyle, do we believe KU is a Final Four or national title contender? Yes, I'm going to say a Final Four for sure. Yes.
Definitely. I mean, like any team, they could get smoked early just if Darren Peterson has a tough night. I mean, they have a lot of guys that can pick it up, but I'm pretty confident they have the ability to go about as far as possible.
Yeah. So anyway, let's continue on the show. I want to change up gears here before we get to our first break. We're going to have Darren Spence, Colby Community College women's head basketball coach. They've had a great start here to 2026, and we'll get him on the program and visit with him about their progress in their season coming up here in just a little bit. And we'll talk some high school hoops a little later on the program. But before we get to segment 2 on our first break, I want to have a little fun here, play a quick little game of Bear or Bull. And talk about the new NFL head coaches. So let's play a little Bear or Bull.
In the stock market, you can be one of 2 things.
Don't make me choose!
Bearish or bullish.
I just want to go after it like a bull, you know?
So are you bear or are you bull?
So 30%, is that right? Yeah, I think 30% of the league has new head coaches this year. So 10
teams.
Yeah, so a third of the league. So I'm just going to list off the coaches, and you can either say bear or bull, and just kind of go from there. How about that? Bullish if you're for it, and bearish if you're not. So we'll start off with the man who got hired first out of the whole ordeal. First guy to go off the market, a guy that our good friend Connor Schuh knows a lot about. Kevin Stefanski, are you bearish or bullish on the new Atlanta Falcons head football coach, former Browns head coach?
I'm bearish is good, correct?
No, bullish is good.
Okay,
Bearish is bad.
That's right. I'm more bullish, honestly. I mean, I think he's a better coach than not, and he has a lot of good pieces to work with that he might have really not had with Cleveland. And if he, I could see him taking the play calling duties here and being pretty successful. I feel like he can mold Michael Penix into a pretty good pro. And then you have Kyle Pitts and Drake London and Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. You got a lot of great weapons to work with, and he has a great defense on the other side. I think this is going to work.
Let me ask you, do you think that there's more talent on the Falcons or on the Browns?
Oh, Falcons, easily.
Okay, and he didn't do great at the Browns, but let's face the facts. No offense to your team. That's kind of a turd show.
He did also he put together some of the best years the Browns have seen since the days of Bernie Kosar in the 1990s.
Yes, he's
and
had
then,
success.
I mean, like he's the best new Browns coach post 99. Easy.
Yeah. So Kevin Stefanski, I'm going to be bullish on this as well. I think he's going to be fine there. He's a good offensive mind. I would agree with you. I think he probably can help mold Michael Penix. But yeah, I mean, that's just it's a very interesting it's a very interesting let go by the Browns, but at the same time understandable. And then you know what, Falcons are like, I think he can do a lot with what we have to offer here. And so yeah, Matt Ryan, by the way, going to be is he the general manager?
He's the GM, I'm pretty sure.
Which is interesting to see how those two work
awesome.
together. So anyway, Kevin Stefanski, we're both bullish on him on a little of bear and bull here this morning. All right, let's go to the Baltimore Ravens' new head coach, former Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter.
Interesting. I'm on the line because he's had a lot of recent success and he's been a quick riser from the Michigan DC to the Chargers DC now to head coach. I'm gonna be slightly bearish just because actually, you know what? Hold on. Let's switch that up. I'm bullish.
Always bull.
I'm a little bullish just because the Ravens had a bit of a weird year last year. They missed Lamar for a lot of games, and they have a lot of talent on the defensive end of the football, but they didn't really succeed on the defensive end of the football. So maybe having a defensive head coach like that can help out a little bit. It's tough though, because the Chargers they were a solid defense last year, but they weren't the best. So, but I'm gonna lean bullish.
Very so slightly.
Yeah, I'm not super confident in any answer. I'll be honest.
Here's the thing about Jesse Minter. I don't know if he's quite ready for it, but I guess I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt because he is a Harbaugh disciple.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. So I'm going to go bullish on Minter.
Well, hopefully he doesn't get caught cheating. So
yeah, I hear you there. And so I'm going to go bullish because Mike McDaniel, right? The head coach of the
he was
Seahawks.
the old Dolphins head coach. Mike McDonald is the Seahawks coach.
Sorry, I keep those. Mike McDonald was in the same spot that Jesse Minter was. He was underneath Jim Harbaugh as a defensive coordinator.
And he rose quick.
He goes and he's at Seattle, and guess what? They're at the Super Bowl playing here on Sunday.
And they have incredible defense.
They do. And I would guess, and guess what Baltimore has is a ton of pieces. It's not like you're starting over from scratch. You've got so many pieces. So I'm bullish on Jesse Minter because he's got a lot to work with, just like Stefanski does. Lots of good clay to work with. It's just a tweak here or two, and hopefully he can get that done. But I'll go bullish on Jesse Minter there. So, all right, let's go. New Brails head coach Joe Brady.
He's been the OC there for what a few years, not for
a couple years, I think, too.
A super long time, and he's been the guy who's kind of led Josh Allen's development in the last few years. But this is another one where it's really hard to tell with these new guys who come in as coordinators. I'm going to lean a little bearish. He's been in the system for a while, but I don't know. It felt like Sean McDermott was really the guy who made it go, and he kind of just got scapegoated out of there. So I'm going to lean, bearish until further notice.
There you go. So I'm going to go bearish as well, just because what you saw is what you're going to get, at least offensively. I feel like McDermott kind of got a raw end of the deal here. I mean, there needs to just be more pieces around Josh Allen, both offensively and defensively. Now, whether or not the Bills can get that done, I don't know. But I don't know if Joe Brady is the answer. I think their offense will probably stay the same, but they need to get better defensively, and they need to get better around Josh Allen in order to have that success they're looking for, and they haven't done that yet. So I'm bearish because I don't know if he's the guy. I think if you would have kept McDermott, you might get the same results as what you're going to get with Joe Brady, possibly. So anyway, let's move on to your team, Todd Monken at Cleveland.
Bearish. I've been feeling better about this one lately, but I still don't love it. He's only had one stop as a head coach, and that was with Southern Miss, and he was successful there. He brought them from a 1-win team to a 10-win team in his last year, but he's never been the head guy anywhere else. And he's had mixed results as an offensive coordinator, including just an awful marriage with the Browns in 2019. So that sours me, especially because the Browns have the same leadership. Well, at least at the very top, because it was John Dorsey as the GM back then and not Andrew Berry. So maybe things are a little different. And now he's the guy instead of having to just nip at Freddie Kitchens' feet. But it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I'm leaning bearish, but feeling better about it.
I'm going to go bearish on Todd Monken. I'm not buying it. I don't know. Personally, I'm on the boat. I'm on the boat of the Jim Schwartz train. I would have said let's just do that. But yeah, I would have just rather, if you got a guy that's led a really good defense and wants to be there, you might give him the chance to lead the team. So and he did have success at the Lions. Did Jim Schwartz?
He had some success. I was looking the other day. He made the playoffs once in like 5 years, but that was the Lions before Dan Campbell. So that was a dysfunctional franchise.
So, like I said, I'm going there. Let's go Vegas Raiders. Clint Kubiak Bearer Bowl.
That's actually really interesting.
By the way, he is the Seahawks offensive coordinator. For those who don't know, Seahawks offensive coordinator,
and he's kept the Sam Darnold train rolling over there. And that's obviously not all him, because he kind of transformed last year with the Vikings. But I feel like he helped make him even better, and now he's going to get a chance to mold Fernando Mendoza, probably. And he's learned under his pops, Gary Kubiak, who was a very successful head coach, of course. So I think this could be interesting. Coach's son, really good OC. I like where this is at. It could help the Raiders.
I don't think I could say it much better. I think I'll just agree with you. Yes, a lot of those things factor in. The problem is it's the Raiders, and what are they going to give him when it comes to pieces to work with?
That's the problem.
That's the biggest problem there. The Dolphins and former Packer defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, Bearer Bowl for the Dolphins' new head coach.
I don't love it. I mean, I don't think he was really a favorite over with the Packers. So obviously, as you can tell, I'm going bearish. And it's interesting. I don't know if I like this at all. They tried it with a coordinator type of guy with Mike McDaniel before on the offensive side, and it didn't really work. There was some success, but now you bring in Jeff Hafley, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying this because he's not a hot name, but I don't know a lot about him aside from being the Packers DC and the Packers defense.
He was the head coach at Boston College for a little bit too, I think.
Okay. They have such a great football program. Yeah, so, I mean, other than Matt Ryan years, I mean, they haven't had much. But yeah, I'm bearish.
Yeah, I'm bearish on this too. I don't know what we'll see what happens with him on Jeff Hafley. I'm not for sure. Yeah, I would agree. I don't know if there's enough. Know if there's enough evidence to prove that he's going to have success there. Plus, the Dolphins are dysfunctional once again behind the front office and in the ownership room. So I don't know if that's going to happen. All right, how about the Tennessee Titans? Robert Saleh, former Jets head coach, 49ers defensive coordinator.
I gotta say, I'm a little more bullish. Crazily enough, just with he really had a dumpster fire there with the Jets, and unfortunately, he's getting plugged into a pretty tough situation again with the Titans, who are probably about the same tier of talent team wide as the Jets were when he was there. But this time he actually gets a quarterback with a lot more promise to work with. And obviously he's more of a defensive guy. You got pieces on the defensive end. If you're the Titans, you got Jeffrey Simmons standing there in the middle and a couple other young guys on the D line who are really, really promising. And I think that could be a good fit.
Bearish or bullish here, Robert Saleh, the Tennessee Titans. I'm just going to say bearish for the simple fact, yes, he was a part of the ultimate dumpster fire there at the Jets. I mean, they are the biggest dumpster fire, I think, in all in professional football. I think they are, even more than the Browns. And I don't know. I don't know if there's enough pieces there around for him to have the kind of success that they're looking for. Great guy, though. And gosh, he's got a lot of kids.
Seems like a good guy.
I don't know how he does. I think he's got like 8 kids or something. I don't know how he does it. Guys, that's why he doesn't have any hair. Doesn't have any hair. It's because of that. At that reason.
And he's not even 40.
Gosh, I know. Jeez. Get it done. All right, a couple of the big ones. The Giants, John Harbaugh. Can we just all agree on this?
I'm going to be honest. I mean, I'm going to go bullish. I'm going to go bullish, but I have questions just because sometimes you have the legacy head coach almost that comes in and doesn't succeed, like John Gruden coming back to the Raiders. They made the playoffs once and then just fell off the face of the earth. Pete Carroll last year with the Raiders. It scares me a little bit. I think it could work just because his baseline has been pretty high, which his baseline's like 7-10. That's like the worst you're going to get out of him. But we'll see. It's the Giants, but he has a lot of young, good players to work with.
I'm going bullish because I think the cupboard is young and it's not bare. Neighbors, Dart, Scattaboo, so many nice pieces that I think he'll love to run the ball with Scattaboo and that physicality. They'll play good defense. John Harbaugh will be fine. New York media will not be too big for him. He'll be a professional. I think they're going to find success. Now, does that mean they're going to go win a Super Bowl in his tenure? No, I'm not saying that, but I think they're going to find success. Will the Giants? How about Mike McCarthy, new head coach of the Steelers?
Bearish. He had his time with the Packers, but then became the symbol of being mediocre. And with the Cowboys, they just could never break through with him. And it felt like, okay, his time might be up as a head coach, but the Steelers want to get a worse version of Mike Tomlin in the door and just be okay. They're probably going to be decent. The Steelers they have their ways, but yeah, definitely bearish. I don't think this really moves the needle at all for them.
I'm going to go bullish on it because I think he's going to improve the quarterback room no matter who was there.
Yeah.
I think he's going to improve the quarterback room. I mean, Dak Prescott had pretty good numbers there for Dallas when he was there.
He always has, though.
I'm just saying, I think the quarterback room will be improved. And gosh, if they could get some better quarterback play, that would certainly help a lot for the Steelers. Now, hopefully they can keep their great defensive identity. That's my question. Will they do that? If they can do that and get a little bit better quarterback play and develop some guys, hey, the Steelers can be a really good football team.
And they weren't great defensively last year, so that's also
in question. And the final stop, the most recently hired coach, Mike LaFleur, former Rams OC, and I think younger brother of Matt LaFleur, head coach for the Packers, is now the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals.
I hate this. I don't think anyone really likes this move. This guy was the Rams OC last year, but he was put into a perfect situation. And you know who he was the OC before that? Just take a guess. Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head.
The Jets. So I don't love that. I thought the other coordinator for the Rams, their DC, Chris Shula, was going to get hired because he was a big name on the market, but they're taking this guy. I mean, he didn't mess up the Rams. I'll give him that. And Puka still had an incredible year, and the Rams
He had a lot of pieces to work with.
He did, and he has way less with the Cardinals. Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. are pretty promising receivers, but I mean, Kyler's probably out the door, and there's probably a new quarterback there within a year or two. So things are really in flux over there, and I just don't see it.
I'm going bearish just for the simple things that when you have a lot of things to work with, you're going to look good. The thing is, though, when it comes right down to it, and now you got to go to a franchise that has nothing. I mean, almost nothing, including really no quarterback. I'm bearish as well there on Mike LaFleur at this point in time. So, I don't know, kind of 50-50 split on those hires there through the new 10 football coaches hires in the NFL. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. We'll talk a little women's college basketball with Colby Community College head coach Darren Spence next. You're listening to the Morning Blitz on a Tuesday.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
With NextTech Wireless, get truly unlimited data as low as $40 a month. And get the latest devices like the iPhone 17 on us. iPhone 17 has a 6.3-inch ProMotion display, Ceramic Shield 2, all 48-megapixel rear cameras, center stage front camera, A19 chip, and more. NextTech Wireless, celebrating 20 years of connecting Kansans.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Tyler Ghosh with the Andersons in Overland Park, Kansas with your morning market update. It is Tuesday, February the 3rd. Overnight sessions have commodities set to open higher. March corn up 1 3/4 at 427.5. The maize up 1 1/2 at 435. And December is up 1 3/4 at 456.5. Beans on the March are up 8 1/4 at 1068.5. The maize up 8 1/2 at 1081. And the Nove is up 7 1/4 at 1082.5. Kansas City wheat on the March is down 1/4 cent at 535 even. The May is unchanged at 546 1/4, and the July is down 1/4 cent at 559 1/4. Chicago wheat on the March is down up 1 3/4 at 529.5. The May is up 2 cents at 538.5, and the July is up 2 cents at 549.5. S&P 500 is up 13 points at 7,015. The Dow is down 21 points at 49,502. NASDAQ up 117 points, 25,966. Crude oil is up 50 cents a barrel at $62.61. Gold is up $303 an ounce at $4,956. And silver is up $11 an ounce at an even $88. If you have any cash grain you'd like to move or want to learn more about our freedom pricing tools, reach out and give us a call. You can reach myself, Tyler Ghosh, Jared Law, or Tom Saludo at 913-748-3000. If you're out in Colorado, give John Hankey or John Stiles a call at 970-744-4484.
We're back here on a Tuesday morning, 8:41 Central, 7:41 Mountain Time here on this February the 3rd. Once again, going to be a cool start to the morning, but warming up into the mid-50s, maybe a chance of some precip later on tonight. We will see. We're pleased to go to the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware Hotline, where we are joined now by Colby Community College head women's basketball coach Darren Spence. Coach Spence, thanks again for joining us today. One thing that sticks in my mind, Coach, as we open up this conversation, is that when we talked the last time, you said, we really haven't gotten back to full strength yet to kind of know our capabilities. I feel like maybe you have here in the year of 2026 in the month of January. Do you feel like that has happened as well?
Yeah, I do. We're not really 100% with everybody. We still got one hobbling around in a boot, but we lost the one early who would have been a major impact player for us, a D2 transfer that had a life scare with a blood disorder. So she's not playing basketball anymore, and that's kind of left a hole for us. But all in all, yeah, we've got enough to go play, and we're getting better each day.
How impressive has it been to win some of these games as closely contested as they've been? The win this last Saturday at Cali, coming back to win by 2. There was a 3-point win on the road at Garden City back in the middle of the month. Some of these really impressive kind of come from behind victories. What has that told you about you, and also doing it on the road as well?
It's this group. We actually play better on the road, and whatever the reason is for that, I don't really care at the moment. But if you want to play for something special, you have to be able to win on the road. I think it has a lot to say about our toughness. We have some experience, some sophomores who've been through it for 2 years now, and they just have come to the point where they've stopped waiting around to see what the other team is going to do, and we've started kind of just playing to our identity and our standard. You know, we're a really good defensive team. So when we're locked in and focused, you know, that's always going to give us a chance. And then it's about finding ways to score, and you have to do that differently against each opponent. And as you know, this league is so good, and they really test you. So yeah, it says a lot just to how this team has grown up. But on the flip side of that, we have some games that we feel we've given away and didn't give our best effort, and you know, we're kind of kicking ourselves over a couple of those, and a couple of those were home games too. So whether it's a home game atmosphere or we just love playing on the road, you know, we're kind of trying to figure that out. But it just speaks to the character of our kids and how they're you know, on the same page most times.
Coach, it's been a pretty successful January for you guys. 6 wins in the month, and it's probably your most successful month to this point. Talk to me. Has there been any turning point with the team to this point, you think?
You know, if I knew that, I could go into a different business and make a lot more money. Write a book, I guess, a how-to book. But, you know, I've often said this. Coaches, all levels, get way too much credit and way too much blame. And it's the players who have to show up and do the work. And I believe that, you know, through all these years in coaching college. And, you know, I try to put it all on them. You know, what is it that you guys want to do with this year? As we set out to try to build an identity for this Colby JUCO program, what is it you guys want to be remembered for? And what kind of a significance are you going to have? And so I give our players all the credit. They're the ones that do it. They're the ones that put up with me, and I'm not the easiest one to play for. I have very high standards and expectations, and sometimes kids don't want that. And so far, this group has accepted it, and each day they're just growing and getting better. So it's gratifying to see that, but we know we're playing for something bigger. We want a home playoff game first round, and so we have goals that we're trying to reach.
Darren Spence, our guest on the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware Hotline, head coach for the Colby Community College women's basketball team. You know, you look at this team this year, Coach, and you know, some teams are constructed where they have 1 or 2 superstar players. Some teams are constructed where it's more of a balanced attack. I'd say that's kind of your team this year. You don't really have a star player, but a lot of girls that just kind of do their part and get you, you know, in the offensive side at least, you know, 5 to 6, 8 points per game. What do you like the balance of this team, particularly on the offensive side?
I do. I've always been a fan of having, you know, if you got 8 kids that can average between 7 points and 15 points, I think you're a scary team, because on any given night, somebody can go off, and then the rest just have to go with her. And you never know who it's going to be. Different opponents make you do different things. I think the emergence of our inside game, and it's weird how that happens. It happened last year too. It always takes a semester for us to realize that we need to stop just jacking up early threes and then play inside out and get some ball reversal. So the depth of our team has grown, and everybody's role is important on this team. And so if we can spread it around, it makes us a little bit harder to guard.
You guys are coming up on the final stretch of the season here. What is one thing on the court you would like to see improve most from your team?
Well, I'd like to see us make more shots. It's mostly offensively. I'd like to see us get comfortable with, you know, knowing when to drive it, when to pass it, when to shoot it, and we're getting closer. We really like to move the ball around. I don't like it to stick in one spot, and, you know, and play isolation basketball. And so we've gotten better at that, but it's still a work in progress. You know, how we use our ball screens is important, making reads. So I'd say it's probably in those couple areas.
Darren Spence, our guest, Colby Community College women's basketball coach. I think one thing that's been impressive me, Coach, is every time I see you guys get a win, it's somebody else that kind of steps up in the big moments. You know, like I think this last weekend it was Amisha Russell with a couple of big threes down the stretch. We've seen Perry Lewis get a couple of big moments in this season. Olivia Holtgren, your freshman, of course, Desi Ulmer. It's amazing to watch how late in games different people step up. You don't always see that across basketball.
Yeah, it's, you know, I think it comes back to how we don't have that one star, and everybody has an importance. They have to fill their role on the offensive side of it. And yeah, we just have a comfort level. We know, and we talk about it every game, that somebody's going off today, one or two people, and the rest of you just go with them. Iesha Potts from Dodge City, our sophomore, has taken her a semester to get herself in better shape, and now she's playing back to the form like she was a year ago. So we do have a number of kids. Misha Russell has struggled, and down at Cali, she had a really good night. And it was good for her to see the ball go in the basket, and obviously it was great for us as well. So, yeah, I mean, I like that. It makes it a little bit interesting in possessions. You're standing over there saying, okay, now who's shooting this, who's shooting that, and our kids know that when the ball moves and they're one of our shooters and they catch it, they have to shoot it. If not, it just stalls out that possession. So it takes a while for kids to understand that, but it sure is nice to see when they get it.
Well, final coach for me, Coach, is coming up here on Wednesday. You welcome in one of the best teams in the nation in Dodge City. What are a couple of keys to trying to hang with the Lady Conks and maybe pulling off an upset?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me on that one. I told Landon when we played down at Dodge, I think this year's team's better than his team last year. And I really believe that this team can go win a national championship. They can throw so many different, weapons at you, and they do such a good job. And they play so much different than the rest of the teams. Maybe it's the international flair, but they're comfortable in what they do. So for us, you have to stretch out. It's not like a normal team defensive rotations where you're going to the basket to crack back on post players, because they're spraying the ball out for threes, and you have to understand the difference in your rotations defensively. So, and that starts with guarding the basketball and keeping it in front of you. But they're awfully good. We're going to have to limit our live ball turnovers so we have a chance to get a shot, even a bad shot, on offense. So we definitely have our work cut out for us. And you know what? Maybe we catch them where they're not ready to play. Some coaches talk about, boy, I hope we get their best game tonight. Well, we always do get people's best game, but once in a while, it'd be kind of nice to not get somebody's best game, especially if you're ranked third in the country. So we just, we're going to have some toughness and just play through the ups and the downs of the game.
Head coach, the Colby Community College women's basketball team, Darren Spence. Coach, thank you so much for squeezing us in today. Really appreciate it. And best of luck here coming up on Wednesday.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
Once again, great stuff there from Darren Spence. Once again, taking on one of the best teams in the nation in Dodge City, coming up here on tomorrow, I should say, on Wednesday is when they'll take on that. But like Connor said, a great month of January, just 3 losses and I think 6 wins.
6-3. Yep.
6-3. Pretty darn good January, I would say, overall, particularly with those road wins at Garden City and at Cowley. Those are some very, very impressive W's for Colby Community College women's basketball, who, by the way, sit at 12-10 overall, 9-7 in conference play. All right, we're going to take our first break, our last break. When we come back, we will talk a little high school hoops tonight, what's on tap, including the opening of a league tournament. That is next here on the Morning Blitz.
Start the new year in a new Chevrolet from Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, where the deals are ready to roll. Right now, get behind the wheel of a Chevy Trailblazer with 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers, or step up to a Chevy Silverado 1500 and score up to $6,250 in rebates with an eligible trade-in. It's the perfect time to upgrade your drive and start the year strong with the power and reliability of Chevy. Make your New Year's move today at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Shop online anytime at hurlchev.com.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland, and let's get you covered. The insurance agency. Insurance the way it should be.
Kick off 2026 ready for whatever winter brings. At Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, they've got the gear to start the new year strong. Get organized with rugged storage totes. And when the snow starts falling, if it does, power through it with Ego and Craftsman snow blowers. Or if it's just the light stuff, blow it away with Ego leaf blowers. And don't forget ice melt to keep your sidewalk safe all season long. New year, winter ready. Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Helpful folks, trusted brands, and everything you need to get it done. Mossbarger Family Farms is proud to cultivate community alongside their industry partners. Together, they employ exceptional individuals, support community events, and provide land stewardship. If you're looking to start a career in agriculture or are a landowner, give Mossbarger Family Farms a call at 785-821-0458 to discuss employment opportunities or one of their many land lease options to provide the best return on your investment. Mossbarger Family Farm stewardship practices will appreciate your land value and provide your family financial strength for generations. Join Mossbarger Family Farms in cultivating community.
From drive-through banking to mobile deposit, we make it easy to get things done on your schedule. Banking should fit your life, not the other way around. This is Jessica Von Lintel at F&B Bank. Banking made simple.
In a small town, your banker should know more than just your account number. They should know your name. At F&B Bank, we believe in real conversations, friendly faces, and decisions made right here at home. I'm Paige Sneathen, Vice President at F&B Bank, and we're proud to serve your family like our own. Member FDIC.
Whether it's touchdowns, home runs, or buzzer beaters, we've got you covered. It's the Morning Blitz.
All right, we just got a couple minutes left to go in today's show. Thanks again to Darren Spence for hopping on the program with us, talking a little Colby Community College women's basketball. We do have, once again, last chance to win from Traditions Restaurant because, like I said, I think it's either going to be tomorrow or Thursday. We're going to have our Spin the Wheel of Love, as it is called. So Traditions Restaurant, the 2 tickets that I have available over here to my right, I'm not going to reach for them right now, but for the Valentine's Dinner and Dance, Valentine's Day night at Traditions Restaurant. The last word of the day, Connor Schuh.
I'm not sure if we've used this before, but I would like to go with grill.
You have used grill before.
Have I? Jeez. All right.
How about love?
We'll get original. Yeah, I haven't used anything related to Valentine's Day or anything. I'm with that. We'll go love.
Love is the word at 785-899-2222. The FNB Bank text line. Text the word love and be entered in for your final chance to win from Traditions Restaurant. Once again, it's the Valentine's Day Dinner and Dance with strings attached coming up here on Saturday. Sorry, a week from this coming Saturday night. That'd be the 14th of February. Okay, and then we'll spin the Wheel of Love coming up here probably Thursday, I think is when we'll try and get it in there. The Wheel of Love. Anyway, let's continue on here on the program. High school basketball on tap for today. Before we get to today's deals, I forgot to mention that we did have a couple of games last night. I think some makeup games. You had a great matchup between Oakley and Dighton. Both those teams ranked in their respected classes. Dighton, I think, ranked number 2 in 1A Division II. Oakley ranked number 8 in 2A. Oakley girls with the win over the Lady Hornets, 65-60 in a close one. Oakley boys won the other game of the night. They're in Oakley, 63-49. And then Wallace County and Quinter, the Wallace County boys and Quinter boys. Wallace County boys are for sure ranked. I think the Quinter boys are too. Nonetheless, Wallace County, who's 11-5, dropped that one at Quinter, 69-66. And Quinter girls won easily for Wallace County, 72-32. Plenty of games going on today, including the Western Kansas Liberty League basketball tournament. Which those games are set to get going today. You've got the girls bracket, which is up here now on the video stream, but you've got first round matchups of Shiloh versus Logan Palco, Northern Valley versus Golden Plains, Western Plains, Tri-Plains Brewster, and Wheatley Grinnell versus Weskin. I think Shiloh is probably the heavy favorite going into this tournament. They're really, really good. Western Plains has had a very good season. It's probably one of the better seasons I can remember. That Western Plains is having, but they are there at they're the number 2 seed in the girls bracket. So that's going on that's all happening at the junior high. It'd be at the Grinnell Junior High is where that is taking place. And then at the high school gym there at Grainfield Wheatland High School, you've got Weskin, the top seed versus Tri-Plains Brewster, Western Plains, Logan Palco in the 4-5. Wheatland Grinnell is the 2 seed against Northern Valley, and then Shiloh Golden Plains in the 3-6. Those are that's your boys bracket for today. So look forward to seeing how that all pans out. But yes, those are your matchups for the 2026 Western Kansas Liberty League basketball tournament. And look forward to seeing what goes on there. And then you've got also tonight, you've got St. Francis hosting Oakley, Quinter at Plainville, Decatur Committee hosting Dighton, Goodland will host Burlington, and Colby hosts Norton. Any thoughts on Colby Norton tonight?
Each team played Norton back at the topside tip-off and handled business, especially the boys, won by 22. And Norton boys seem like they've gotten better. They've stacked up a few wins and are a game below 500, but the girls team has not quite had that fortune. So I'm not going to make any type of prediction because you don't want to put any bad juju in the air, but I think things are looking good for Colby.
Yeah, Norton is having a little bit of a down year, although it wouldn't surprise me if the Norton boys get better over the course of time. They have a long-standing head coach, Doug Rusink. I think this is his 34th, 35th season. He's been doing it for a long time there for the Norton boys. Goodland hosts Burlington, what I like to dub the Cure Land and Cattle Bowl, because there's a lot of cures. It doesn't, especially on the girls' game. There'll be a lot of cures on the floor, but nonetheless,
broadcaster's nightmare.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's 3 for Burlington and 2 for Goodland. So there's a lot of the cousins are all out there facing off against each other in the girls' game, which Goodland boys and Burlington boys faced off the top side. Goodland boys won handily. It's been a tough year for Burlington boys basketball, though I've been told coming up here in the next few years, they're going to be really, really good with what they have at their junior high level. And the girls are kind of, they're hanging around. They're not having the same type of great year. They finished 5th last year in state, but they're not having the same type of success, but they're still having a solid season. So we'll see. I expect Goodland to be at home for the first time in a while and take advantage of that home cooking, but we'll see. You never know. Goodland did lose to Burlington at Burlington, the girls, I should say, last year on the road, which was kind of a surprise. Well, I'm guessing they've probably got that sour taste in their mouth and want to get the revenge for that loss. But that's Goodland hosting Burlington tonight at the Max Jones Fieldhouse. And there you go. There's your high school hoops coming at you here tonight. All right, we're up against the clock. Let's get to the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball deep to right. How about a walk-off three? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
As our great listener Michael predicted, Davis Webb has gone from quarterbacks coach to offensive coordinator for the Broncos. He has been a key piece in Bo Nix's development and was looking at getting some other OC jobs, but he'll stay in Denver after the release there of Lombardi. And then they've got Logan Kilgore taking over as quarterbacks coach there for the Denver Broncos. Big matchup tonight in college basketball. Big under the radar matchup tonight. Miami of Ohio, undefeated, on the road at Buffalo in some action tonight. The last time these two teams played at Miami of Ohio, double overtime win by 3 for Miami of Ohio. So will Buffalo get it done at home up in New York?
No. No, it's not happening. I'm saying it. Miami is going to have an undefeated regular season. Book it.
Are they going to be unbeaten going into the NCAA tournament?
I think they lose in the MAC championship to Akron.
Does that impact their ability to make the tournament?
It shouldn't.
Hopefully not. Could you imagine being like 34-1 and not making the tournament?
Well, that's kind of what happened with Indiana State a few years ago when they lost to Drake in the MVC title. And, well, they had 5 losses, so it was a little different. But this time, there is no excuse if a team beats Miami for the first, or like even if they have 2 losses at this point, Miami, they should make the tournament. If you only have 2 losses, I don't care who it's against at that point. You deserve it.
I'm calling upset tonight. Buffalo gets it done at home. Down goes Miami of Ohio. For
I'd lose it.
Calling it tonight. For Connor Schuh, I'm Ross Volkmer. Catch your high school hoops tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow here on The Blitz. Have a good one.